When I was in elementary school, they used to let me carry things down to the kiln to fire them, which seems, in hindsight, wrong because they essentially put a 7-year-old into a walk-in oven. They were like, just go in there and put. So in hindsight, I think they may not have liked me as much as I thought. But one time when I was in the basement, I saw our janitor down there just getting smashed. And he'd just sit down there and drink in the fallout shelter. And so I told on him. And then when he was, they were asked him to leave. He got suspended from school. When he was leaving, he said to me, "Now I know why all the kids hate you." That's what a grown drunk man said to a 7-year-old at his job. I mean, he was right. But at the same time, I should have said it. So this part of the show, I am a bit obsessed with high school yearbooks. I collect them. I have many yearbooks that are not my own. I bought them. I didn't, I don't kill people and steal their yearbook. That would be a great MO for a serial killer, though. I will tell you that. If they were like, "We noticed all the victims had their yearbooks missing." Don't steal my idea. I'm going to write that as a CSI. But so I collect yearbooks, and I love them. They're great to read. It's like a whole John Hughes movie in biblio form. And so when I started the show, I asked all my comedian friends if they would be willing to let me have their yearbook for 1 week. I would spend some good quality time with it, and then I'd have them on the show, and we'd discuss their yearbook, and shockingly, a bunch of them said yes. So I call it the Yearbook Sessions, and tonight in the Yearbook Session, please welcome very funny Will Smalley, everybody. You have yourself a microphone there, Mr. Smalley. Will Smalley. Now, Will Smalley, snazzy dresser, funny guy, very white, shocked that he attended Brockton High School. I mean, Brockton has a reputation, if you're not from around here. Put it this way, Brockton's high school mascot, they're called the Boxers, but not because of the dog. It's because you've had like 18 different famous boxers that came from Brockton.
2. We've had 2.
I went to Melrose High School and we didn't have a good mascot.
We also invented Brockton.
They invented Brockton?
Boxing.
You invented yourself in boxing. Well, yeah, because Brockton was just like, "Hey, we should do this for fun." After a while, went to boxing. So the first thing I like to do is I go through the yearbook and I do the stats. And what the stats are is I look through all the signatures. Now, what you want is you want more than 20 but less than 50. Because 20 shows that you're popular, but if you have 50 or more, like you're a signature whore. Like you're just letting anybody sign that thing. And you're doing good, you got 30. So you're right in the sweet spot.
Sure.
Yeah.
The class of 800.
That's still pretty good. Some of these kids are pretty shitty. So, the other thing is you generally want no more than a 30% opposite sex ring, because then it's kind of, you're in the friend zone at that point. And you have 13 girls, which is pretty good.
Yeah.
We'll get to that in a moment. And the other thing is that you have 2 teachers, which is pretty good. I will say that. That's a little sad. Now,
they were women?
No, they were dudes. As far as I could tell. I mean, they had men's names and looked like men, but I don't know. I've been to Brockton. There are some uglies down there, I'll tell you that. Now, one thing, I've only known Will for maybe 3 years since we've been doing comedy, so it's always kind of shocking to me of what someone was like in high school. And number one, you went by Bill in high school. That's kind of weird. Like, I always think it's weird when people change their name. Well, was there a reason for changing?
Well, I used to be Billy.
Yeah, I saw some Billies in here.
Billy.
A lot of people signed your book and wrote, "Oh, Billy." And then they write it.
I was Billy, and then I went by Bill because I was like, well, that's what an adult does.
Oh, okay.
They go by Bill.
I'm Bill, I'm an adult.
My dad's name is Bill as well.
Okay.
So.
Did you have to box him for the title? I will be the Bill. Now, the second thing I found, he's dead now. He killed him in the ring. The squared circle, whatever you want to call it. Now, the other thing here, and I don't think I'm going to tell any of your secrets out of school there, but Will Smalley is a gay man. And he's the premier gay man in the South Shore, I would say. And there is some stiff competition. But from what I could gather, Bernie and Phil, both gay men. So were you not an out gay in high school?
Oh, no. I was an in Bill.
You were an any Bill. So straight Bill becomes gay Will.
Exactly.
Because there's so many girls that signed this thing that were clearly in love with you. Aww. Which is a good indicator that you're gay.
Right.
So So this one's my favorite. It says, Billy, congratulations on your acceptance to Emerson, which I also didn't know you went to Emerson. Did you actually end up going?
I went for 2 years.
Okay, well that didn't work out too well.
I was also in Bill at Emerson, surprise.
For the first 2 years,
Yeah.
you didn't come out till after college?
I came out during college.
I bet your parents were like, if we had sent them to Northeastern, this wouldn't have happened. Did they blame Emerson?
No, but I mean, if I went to Northeastern, it would have been a drug bust, right?
That, well, you would have died before you came out.
Right.
Yeah. So this one says, I hope everything works out for you. You know, Stephanie Burns is going there too. Maybe you guys can hook up. Then over here, we have a signature from Miss Stephanie Burns. Well, I've known you forever, underline, and now we're graduating. Good luck in everything you do. See you at Emerson. So she did.
She knew, right?
Yeah,
okay. We never fucked.
No, that I didn't think something turned you. I didn't think you were like, I did it with her, and I was like, never again. There's so apparently
We did box though.
you beat the shit out of her.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's legal for a gay man to beat up a woman in Massachusetts. It's a blue law.
The first state to do it.
Yeah. So many people say you're the funniest guy. They say that you're a Simpsons expert. This guy talks about how great you are doing the Macarena. Andrea Matson just keeps writing the word tossed salad in quotes over and over again. I don't know what that means. I also like that your high school's insignia is an Ouroboros.
It's gross.
It's a snake eating its own tail, which is generally a sign of like, you guys have fucked. Like, that's just like, nothing matters.
I also tried to do that in high school.
You tried to eat your own tail?
Yeah.
Oh, Billy. There's a lot of girls who talk about how they really love you, and then how you used to be fat. Did you used to be fat?
No. What it was I.
Hey, fatty. Kind of great. You're sitting at your table.
Yes.
Smalley, aka Fatty.
Well, when I grew up, I just said fat. Thank you. I weighed more than people expected me to weigh.
Did they pick you up and go, you're heavier than I thought you were?
It was a carnival school.
They teach those skills. Also, you had housemasters? I've never seen that in high school.
Oh, yeah.
Like teachers that are just listed as...
Well, Brockton High is 4 different buildings, 4 different houses.
So it's segregated.
Basically.
Okay. This has never happened to me before.
This is how great Brockton High is. There's a greenhouse, a red house,
Over yonder?
an azure house,
A what house?
azure for blue, and a yellow house, and they all spell gray, the color of the building.
What the hell is... This is the place that made boxers. Now I understand their frustration. They're like, what the fuck is azure? Ah! You start hitting people. Just say blue. I'm gonna make you black and blue. There's also pictures of teachers in here, and this is completely unexplained. It's like teacher, 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 drawing of a pirate. Teacher, 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 treasure chest.
Oh yeah, the treasure department.
The treasurer, as treasurer. Also, and I'm not judging here, a lot of people in their high school senior photo with their baby. Was there a lot of teen pregnancies in high school?
A lot of babies went to school.
Oh, there were two. So it was the kid was enrolled and they just had their mom in the photo with it.
Super smart babies.
I get you. That makes so much more sense. I was concerned that there was a sex problem.
They're very easy to box though.
Yeah. Oh, you can box a baby. You can put one on each hand like gloves and fight other people with them.
City of Champions.
Yeah, that's how you do it.
That says it.
Also, we're known for making shoes, Brockton.
Yeah, and a lot of other towns make that claim as well.
Shoe City.
Shoe capital of the world.
Yeah.
Lynn.
Really bad claim. There's so many kinds of shoes too. They could like specialize, like we're the boot capital or like the heels.
I think mainly we just had shoes.
Everyone had shoes. That's a good distinction. Many towns don't have that.
Everyone in high school had shoes.
There's a picture of it. I presume this is a teacher because he has a full beard.
Mr. Udo.
Mr. Udo, not a flattering picture. I'd show it to you, but no one's sitting up front. And it's not a good picture of him. He looks a bit like if cousin Larry Appleton lived in the woods. That's what he looked like. And the caption just says, "Remember I told you this picture would be used against you someday?" That's it. And then it's just a picture of him. I'm not really doing anything bad. That's it.
Inside comment.
Inside comment. There's another thing I saw. A lot of people in their senior picture, I've never seen this before, aside from the picture of them and their baby, is there are people posed on a giant...
You've never seen that before?
No, tell me if you've seen this in high school. Posed on a giant cutout of the year you graduated. So there's a girl, just a big 99, like a 3-foot tall 99. Did anyone do that in high school? That's pretty fucked up. What would the purpose of that be? Like in case they forget what year it is? Or like, I don't want to get put in the 98 book by accident. There's no way they can fuck this up. There's a lot of people.
They had the option.
They gave you an option?
Lean on 99.
Was the lean on 99 like an extra amount of money?
It was a song by Prince, right?
Yeah, but that's... Prince would puke if we saw this. Well, that's not what I intended. I always go through every yearbook and I try to find my favorite student, and my favorite student that isn't my friend. And my favorite student in your class, a boy named Larry Kennard. Now, Larry Kennard has a nickname in here. I don't know if he gave it to himself or if he was branded it. But it says, Larry Kennard, the spineless wonder. And that's pretty much what he looks like.
Yeah, he looks like he has no bones.
He's just like a blob. Well, he looks like he was picked on a lot. Was he?
That's true.
By you?
No, I was picked on as well.
What did they call you? Fatty?
Mainly fatty.
Mainly fatty? Will?
Soon to be gay.
Would that happen a lot? Brockton seems like a big just calling everyone gay school.
Yeah, everyone is gay.
But they all were. So they were just calling it like they saw it. Especially all those girls who had babies.
Just gay babies.
So all the babies were gay and they were all lesbians. So your photo, you don't look great. You're a very fashionable guy now, and he doesn't. It's not. I won't show it to you. It's a little boring. You just your quote is just, "Any questions? Any others?" Is that from the drugs thing?
This is how nerdy I was. That's a quote from my trigonometry teacher, Mr. Pins, the greatest teacher ever.
Wow. No wonder I don't even know what to say. And Larry was the spineless wonder. Well. Now, there's also a photo in here of a boy kissing a toilet. An actual toilet.
I was varsity in that.
Here's the caption. Be careful not to let Kristen O'Brien know that her longtime love, Jordan Silva, has been cheating on her with a toilet bowl. And it's a kid, he's literally kissing a toilet bowl seat in the men's room. And it's in the high school yearbook officially sanctioned by Brockton. That's kind of fucked up, though.
I actually work with him now.
Do you?
I really do.
Is he still doing that sort of behavior?
I mean, we're janitors.
But if you can't eat off it, it's not clean. The other thing is the superlatives. Now, normally it's like best hair, and there's two people, it's usually a boy and a girl. Every single superlative has a minimum of 7 people. I'm not even kidding. Like, these are the superlatives. It's entire groups of people. Were there just too many people that were best all around?
Very insecure people.
I mean, I refuse to believe there are 9 people with the best eyes. That's what I'm saying. They're just, like, it's like they started the work and they're like, all right, let's get a list together of some potentials. Just move on. I'm done. I don't want to have to do any more work.
Do you have eyes? You're in.
Funniest, you're not on that list. I'm a little upset by that.
Me too.
In the most attitude photo, it's a pleasure to see that the football players all seem to be grabbing their own dicks in the photo. Apparently is what attitude
Also a
means.
varsity sport.
Varsity sport, dick grabbing. I was shocked to see that you have something I've not seen in any other high school yearbook, and I've seen hundreds. A canoe club.
I'm shocked as well.
Is there even a body of water anywhere near Brockton?
There's a river.
Of blood and tears. There's a Brockton River?
It's a canoe made of shoes.
It's the shoe canoe. The Christian club is just sad. They've all decided to be funny and they're all posing like this.
It's all just guys named Christian.
It's all guys named Christian. Yeah. There's a key club, which I was like, oh, is that like a key party? Like some kind of swingers club? But it's just actually the Kiwanis educates youth, and that's boring.
That's it.
Were you in the key club?
Might not be.
I don't see you. No, you're not. There's a very angry kid.
I was like an officer in it as well.
Well, they didn't give a shit. This club's called Vega, which I first thought was Vice, and I was like, your high school had a Vice squad? Awesome.
We did have our own police squad.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Like hall monitors?
No, like a police force.
Was it a violent school?
Specifically for Brockton High.
Was there gangs and things?
Oh yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
But you have a diploma committee consisting of two lovely young
It's
ladies.
not a diplomacy committee. It's
No. That's a good point. My favorite thing is the only media club you have is a TV club, and it's the only one that says photo not available. TV club. There's also just a 2-page spread of kids sleeping. That's it. Just kids sleeping. Kind of creepy. I imagine they're all taken by the same person. Because a lot of these don't appear to be taken at school. That's what I'm saying. A little creepy.
It's a real creep on Yearbook.
This kid, it just says, I don't understand this. Chris Przerski, I assume this is a swipe at him being Polish, but I'll read this. It says, he's sleeping, and it says, while German stormtroopers invade the beaches of Normandy, Chris Przerski enjoys a peaceful sunbathe. That seems racist to me.
No, he was 63 years old.
He's actually a veteran of foreign wars, Chris Przerski. Now, this is my second favorite signature in your yearbook, and I'm going to read it, and I'm not going to tell you the gender of the person that wrote it until the end. So here we go. Smalley, you're one of the funniest bastards I ever met in my life. Mr. Pins lives inside your testicles. You and Matt and Mike should start a show. Chris Carolza is a fascist. Mr. Otto's class was pure insanity. You must say, I made a killer Bonnie. You keep being a crazy fuck. Love, Katie Laughlin. Favorite thing. I was also shocked to see just how many people specifically classified you as, quote, a crazy, funny bastard. Why don't you bill yourself as the funny bastard comedian Will Smalley?
Crazy funny bastard. That's my Wu-Tang name.
Funny bastard? So no one suspected you were gay, except for that girl who the other girl thought you should hook up with?
No, there is a, I mean, someone said, oh no, I suspected someone else was gay.
So you called someone else gay in their yearbook? That's the most Brockton thing I've ever heard.
I was gay in 9th grade. Specifically only in 9th grade. I said, you're gay, you were gay in 9th grade. No, you're not gay now. But I made fun of someone for being gay.
You think that's what did it?
Because I would, yeah.
It's like black like me?
Yeah.
That is a very weird yearbook, I will say. I don't ever go to Brockton. My grandfather lived there, and I did not enjoy him. So we didn't go down to visit him, because he'd be like, he lives in Brockton. And we wouldn't go visit him. But what I like to do at the end of every one of these yearbooks is decide, had I gone to this high school, which I clearly did not, would I have liked
shoes?
No, I didn't have shoes. They called me Shoeless Ken Reid. Would I have liked you or been friends with you in that high school? And I'm going to go with yes, just based on your status as a funny bastard and a crazy fuck. And because all the girls you hung out with seemed terrifying. And I kind of like that.
Yeah. That's all right.
So that's it. Will Smalley, the yearbook sessions, everybody. Please thank Will for participating in the yearbook session. There you go, sir. Thank you very much. Will Smalley, yearbook sessions. Do it every week here on the Secret Menu.